it's like the main character, that it's a DEI bullshit game. And so I kind of feel bad for the devs because like everybody's already like kind of against it. But I'm going to try the game out. I'm going to play it. I think that people have already decided, since it's a black woman that's like the main character, that it's a DEI bullshit game. And so I kind of feel bad for the devs because like everybody's already like kind of against it. This is just something that is
looking at it, keep your music on the dance.
This is, I think. Wow. And I hope that there's two separate ones. Funny.
I'm showing off my mounts. A lot of changes.
I think I have all the screenshots too. Wow.
Yeah. Husband would say, tiny whiny.
Yeah.
Speaking of the past, is there anything else that we'll be revisiting?
I couldn't get the charger.
Look it up. No, look it up.
It took me years to get that one.
Yep.
So when I think about WoW's anniversary event, I always think about the Caverns of Time and the party there. Is there any changes to the celebration?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. We have a lot of changes.
I think I have all the screenshots too.
You're used to going into the Caverns of Time to sort of experience the anniversary.
That's a great idea. What a good idea.
That's a perfect one for you. Okay?
Yes. I love mounts. I love showing off my mounts.
Wow. That's wow. And I hope that there's two separate ones. Funny.
I love showing off my
Young Matt.
Yet white people are the oppressors.
This was crazy, bro.
You can give everyone here like a $50,000 check, especially people that are in the streets who are committing violent crimes consistently. A $50,000 check, it's not going to fix anything. It's not going to increase the median household income in the next 10 years by 10% or 20%. For example, we have the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. We prevented Chinese people from getting citizenship and even entering the country. We discriminated against them and basically put them under apartheid, even here in the United States. Yet they have the highest median household income. How is that possible? How come they don't complain and feel entitled consistently to beg for reparations and beg for this when they are killing each other 90% of the time, which is the rate that black people kill each other, according to the FBI?
Oh, young Matt.
Yet white people are the oppressors.
I'm not sure where your education came from, but they lied to you.
Stats don't lie.
She like, nope. Fake. That shit. Nope. Nuh-uh. No. Nope. Nope.
Statistics lie all the time. So let's start there, particularly when the statistics are coming from the sources that gain from the statistics being shown a different way. So if you're going to start your argument on stats don't lie, you've already lost the argument. They lie. They lie all the time. One.
Now that I use Monday service, AI makes solving tickets my form of meditation.
Comparing Chinese people who are immigrants that made a choice to come to the United States and comparing the continued effort of Black people to...
So the people, well, I don't even understand.
...ground themselves in a nation that continues to make impediments for them to show and live and exist in their true citizenship is a false equivalency.
I don't believe that happens at all. No one here is in.
Are you acting right now? Do you really believe
I'm telling
this?
the truth.
This is what happens when Twitter meets reality. This is exactly what happens. False equivalence. Well, the thing is that, I mean, again, none of the Chinese people that were oppressed under, the law of 1882 exist anymore. They're all dead. It's the same as every single Black person that was a victim of slavery is dead too, at least in America. There's still slavery in other places of the world, but they're all dead. This is a dead issue. Like anybody that's living in this is like, it's not even that at all.
There's no systemic racism that I've experienced here in
What
America.
about the Japanese who U.S. put in the camps? Yeah, exactly, and that was in the 40s too. Well, to be fair, they did get reparations for that. And I think it's fair that they got reparations for that.
America. What system is racist? I think the only racism we've actually seen recently, systemic racism that we've seen, is the application of systemic racism against white people. The University of Western Washington, for example, has been trying to segregate dormitories, using Black-only dormitories because Black people feel safer amongst each other. But they're more likely to kill each other than white people are ever to kill them. That's just the truth. You have King Von rapping about killing other Black men. Why should I think that the white man is the oppressor when Black men are more likely to kill me?
Oh my God, this is scary. You need to think about me as your mama. Do not talk to me in that fashion. So let's check that now.
Okay.
It's crazy to me that, you know what this seems like to me? This is like a soundboard. It's like a soundboard of a dumb person that thinks that they're clever. It's like, this is the kind of way that you would talk to somebody on the internet. But whenever it actually comes into like a public conversation, you realize how obnoxious and patronizing and self-defeating this type of rhetoric is. She's trying to belittle him. She's insulting. Yeah, because she's stupid. That's the reason why.
Okay, so on a basic level, we have to understand that systemic racism is grounded in the realities that Black people have not been considered an equal human being in this country since its onset. So there's simply no way,
not even today,
to make the argument that there isn't systemic racism. And we have seen
there's no way to make the argument because I said it's not true.
In very clear ways, the system operate in an organically racist way. Do not cut me off.
Yeah, sure. And so anyway, there's another person. See, and this is the problem that people like this have, like this young guy, is that he tries to be respectful and listen to other people's perspectives. With people like her, you can't do that. They're lying retards that don't care about the truth. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about any sort of objectivity. They don't care about anything other than pushing what they believe. That's it. And they want to bully and attack and criticize and demonize anybody that they disagree with. That's all there is to it. Look at the YouTube comments; they're insane. Okay, I will after this. Watch this one.
So why is that fair for people who never had slaves, who fought against slavery, to have to pay for people that had slaves?
One, from my understanding, you are more interested in preserving the fairness of those who didn't have slaves than the fairness of those who are the descendants of slaves. That is priority to you than finding a fair way to.
This is an optical argument. Again, this is what I'm saying. Is people like this, they only think about how things sound, not what they are. It's all optics.
Accommodate those who have been the descendant of slaves.
Well, our ancestors wasn't asking for handouts. They were asking for equal opportunity, and we have equal opportunity in this country.
Oh well, you don't want that.
Country. We had a black president, just in case you didn't know. We had a black president, and we had a black vice
Donald
president.
Trump.
I mean, I think she was black. They said she was black. I don't know. So we had a black president, and you know who voted for that black man? White people, because you can't win a popular election in this country without white people. So Barack Obama is the product of white people. So let's get off this thing where, oh, America is so racist. What's making America so racist is people that continue to talk about racism and continue to focus on racism. And
no, he's right about this. Is that the people like her that they constantly push racism shit. And they constantly complain about everything. And the reason why, see, like a lot of people don't understand the economy that this creates. The reason why people like her complain about racism is that it gets them attention and it makes people do what they want. And to the extent that they get attention and people capitulate to their demands whenever they cry about racism, well, then they're going to keep doing it because it works.
Instead of focusing on unity and bringing our country forward, people that have this liberal mindset are infected.
Just a minute. Where's my spider? Oh, there he is. There he is. He moved. Okay, never mind. He's good.
Our communities, black people, and make
let me move back.
You to focus on racism instead of focusing on unity and bringing our country forward. People that are
these people don't want unity because unity means that their power structure doesn't exist anymore. Their entire apparatus of influence and authority comes from grievance. These people are professional problem havers. That's all they do. So they will never relinquish that because in doing so, they relinquish their power.
This liberal mindset are infecting our communities, black people, and making us victims and not victors. I refuse to embrace a victim mentality because that's not what our grandparents and Harriet Tubman and those people fought for. They fought for equal opportunity.
Do not bring up Harriet Tubman's name in vain, baby. Please.
Let's say the Lord's name in vain. Lord's name.
Harriet Tubman was literally saving her family and others from slavery.
Yeah. You know who helped her? White people.
You know who helped her?
New Eden, a universe brimming with possibility and rife with adventure. Only the most intrepid capsuleers can conquer its many wonders. Do you have what it takes to become one?
Man. Fucking got him.
They were on the Underground Railroad.
No. You know who helped her?
Come on in.
You know who helped her?
God.
She goes, no. Every time, this is what I find is funny, is that every time somebody says something that makes like what she's saying just sound like bullshit. No.
And
people who benefit from white supremacy. One of the things that
Wait, what?
Underground Railroad.
No. You know who helped her?
Come on in.
You know who helped her?
God and
people who benefit from white supremacy.
So people who helped Harriet Tubman in the Underground Railroad to rescue slaves did it because they benefited from white supremacy. Damn, bro. Like, what? God damn, bro. You got to put your brain in a microwave to figure that one out. for a while. Damn, what the fuck? That's wild. Damn.
One of the things
It's a lie. White supremacy is a lie.
No, sir,
It's
that's
a
simply
lie.
not
There's
true.
no such. I mean,
If that were not the case, then we wouldn't see the continued effort of colonialism and white people placing themselves in positions of power when they do not have the power.
Because their
hear
culture, Black culture, is toxic.
Oh, she did not like that. She did not like that at all. Damn.
Culture is toxic. We have produced a culture that is toxic. And let's get on the fact that there's no fathers in the Black home. Let's talk about that.
Stop. No, not true. No. That's it. That's the argument. No.
Let's talk about that.
Stop.
Let's talk about that.
None of this is gonna work if y'all are just gonna sit here and make up shit.
It's
not gonna work. No, it's a debate. It has to be in facts.
You're putting off emotional liberalism.
I am not putting off emotional liberalism. You're putting off unfounded lies based in conservatism.
Misinformation. Remember they did the misinformation thing all summer where everything conservative did. They said misinformation.
He's right. He's totally right about this. And this is the thing is like this guy is completely equipped to handle her in a way that the previous guy, he was too polite. He was too reasonable. This guy's dealt with bitches like this before. He's probably dealt with somebody like this for his whole life. He knows what the boss mechanics are. Yeah, he knows how to handle this shit. You just throw it. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Your neck of an apartheid nation that actively wants to harm Black people and non-Jewish people. But let me bring it back. Let me bring it back.
Selling Black people
in Africa. That was not happening in the context.
They did not do it. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. No, it was. Were there white people in Africa? What do you mean? Damn.
That you're saying.
No, and they were selling bring it back. Black people still sell their own people today too.
I don't know if I'm gonna last.
We're selling our own people today.
I don't know if I'm gonna last.
You probably won't last with me.
I won't because your ignorance is so overwhelming.
She go no.
Liberals, y'all start name calling when y'all get defeated in an argument.
You won't have an argument because you keep cutting me off.
Oh, well, that's fine. If they don't let me come back, I made my point.
You didn't make your point.
I made my point.
You haven't made your point. And let me just tell you about your point.
Yeah.
You started off saying, we believe in hard work.
Yeah.
And we believe in being compensated.
Reparation is not, though. Reparation is not hard work. It's stealing. It's Robin Hood.
You said you believe in hard work.
Yes.
And you believe in being compensated for hard work.
Yes.
But you didn't do anything. You didn't work or do anything.
Okay, Osman.
White.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my show. I'm Eve. And I know, it's been a minute. I have not liked this pause that we've had to take, but it has been necessary. I don't know if you were live with me at the beginning of the show, but it's definitely some nigga shit going on today with the internet, with the conversations, with it's just so much, right? And so Spirit Wonder, what's going on? Yoshi. Look, Yoshi mod. It is that nigga shit that really had me amped up about talking about this tonight, because it is, I guess it's a polarizing statement, right? The real Donald Trump, to say that you deal with the KKK over anybody almost is kind of like, woo, who does that? She must be like one of those people that those Black people talk about, because obviously she's a pink man lover. I don't know what y'all think about some of these things, because they are my thoughts. And as you've decided to join me tonight, make sure you hit the like if you like what I have to say. If you don't like what I have to say, guess what? You can hit the dislike, because I'm not a hater. I'm not fraudulent. I don't do fraudulent business over here. I am absolutely Black, foundational, and American. And well, like I said, these are my thoughts. You can agree with them in the comments, in the chat here. It's right there for you. And just with that little button that's available wherever it is on whatever device that you're using. But Amanda Seales, this is definitely not somebody I ever thought that I would ever have anything to agree with outside of her just existing as a woman. I'm not sure how she felt about Ketanji, right? You know, I don't know about that Ketanji Brown Jackson thing. If you're a whole woman and you've had children, like you've birthed them, and you had the opportunity to feed them from your bosom, shouldn't you know what a woman is? And I really, really, really want to say that this Amanda Seales lady is a lady who might have been championing a woman who operates like that. Again, this would be a woman who has done the things that actually qualify you as a woman. You know, other people can't do it. You know, they can't feed from the bosom. The mammary glands just ain't milking the way that they do for women who have the hormones and body to do that thing. Again, so Amanda Seales is not my favorite person, is all I'm really trying to say. And user 777, what's up? Osmond fan, I'm not here to bash y'all, really. I'm here to talk about why Osmond had to go and do that, right? I mean, really. I don't know if he's considering any of this stuff, because as y'all know, his channel is so much larger than mine. I mean, really, his channel is so much larger than pretty much any Black American who is talking about our reparative justice's plight on a platform like you. I don't know a lot of us speaking like this with the audience to match Osmond's audience, but I also know that Osmond's audience came from gaming. You know, like you've got this group of people, Black or white or purple or yellow or whatever, and they don't necessarily like social interaction, but they do like social interaction. So there's now a whole generation and community of people who get together separately and do things together separately. And one of those things is play video games and watch the people play video games and play them together and play them separately. And I'm not trying to go on and on and on. I'm just saying that there is a whole thing out there for that. And y'all are a bunch of liars if you're going to sit here and say that Osmond's social commentary is what drove you to his channel versus maybe you saw him on a gaming thing. Maybe you like how he games. I've seen how he used to have videos, and now I see now. And if you look him up, he's a YouTuber. So again, user 777, what's up? Welcome to my show. I personally think that people like Osmond are the worst kind of white people, because I don't think that all white people are bad. No, heavens, no. Obviously, there is not an all of anything, right? There aren't all good Black people. There aren't all bad white people. It's just the nuances that makes us human. I'm saying that people like Osmond are probably the worst white people because you don't know until it's too late. I've watched a few of Osmond's videos over time, and none of his gaming videos, just his social commentary videos. And I've thought that he's had an interesting and almost intelligent thought process about the things that are going on in the world. However, it's very important, especially if you're in America, to note that there are a lot of people who comment on things that have nothing to do with them. And there's people who comment on things that have everything to do with them. And then there's some people in between. And Osmond is looking like one of them fence riders. And I didn't want to cut him off from his thought because this is his video that I am sharing. But I did want to welcome y'all to my show and let you know, I don't know how you're going to feel at the end of the day. To me, any white person living in America who isn't trying to give up their privilege, who isn't speaking specifically about the people who are owed a reparative debt tangibly, of course, like in the form of cash, check, money order, I guess, if y'all like to do that. But to me, it's been so simple the whole time, the same way they cut them stimulus checks and deposited them into everybody's bank account who's been paying taxes for, the whole time, good citizens, people who are doing what they're supposed to do. They can do the same thing for the Black Americans who've been here since the beginning. Foundational. I like that Tariq used foundational, and I like that some of y'all really hate that because it is telling. On code, peace be to our transition ancestor, Mr. Neely Fuller. And it's like, you maybe you don't know, but sometimes I think there's some old people in my life, and I wish I could have gone back and had more conversations. And he's not like my old person. He's not in my family. He was not of my family as much as I do believe that we share the same lineage. And he was a person who kind of got it already. And it wasn't until he transitioned that a lot of what he said made sense. And it is in this simple understanding that I get why a lot of y'all gave up. Honestly, I mean, really, people who said we're not going to get reparations in our lifetime. Are y'all eating it? Are y'all choking on your words yet? Or did you just completely hop on to the other side of the fence and just, where did they do that at? Oh, that was the old me. The new me is, the new me is like this.
What? Who? What do you mean?
Were slaves compensated for their work?
They weren't compensated for their work. But why should people who are sitting at home playing video games, smoking marijuana?
Are you sitting at home playing a video game? Are you sitting at home playing a video game?
The people that they wanted
Am
reparations
I sitting at home playing a video game? No.
It'd be better if you were.
Now, Osmond. You're only saying that because you think that you could probably beat her in the video game. I mean, I didn't even really realize that you talk about you in this video in the worst way because, again, I guess it's telling, but it just depends on who it is because some of y'all run tell that Negroes out here and others like to say, hey, you're looking stupid out here. Fix it. And then, if you're the Democrats, then you try to send out a person like Kamala. And it's like, okay, your constituents were telling you that you were doing something wrong. Presenting as racist, right? It's the old white guys and the old white men are the ones being so bad to everybody. And if we could just get rid of these old white men, that's kind of how the Democrats were sounding for a long time, all the way up into, oh, bummer. Really. And it was such a bummer that you had women swooning, you had people wanting their babies signed and kissed. And now we find out that he might have had some hankerings for some other things. I mean, y'all let that kiss your baby. You better go get that baby checked out. I'm just saying, bodily fluids are not something you play with. And aside, because I'm a mom, and maybe you saw my gold face this earlier, but y'all really should tell your midgets about body fluids, because if you don't, then they're going to go to school, because I know most of you guys are still sending your children to the belly of the beast to be educated and learn all of these things. And then people wonder why this big black man who sounds so dainty is, going up this not big black man who doesn't sound dainty. It's so strange, the dynamics on the screen. And then Osmond's just like, what do I do? Actually, what you should have done Let's just be quiet. Honestly, people who are not owed need to be quiet. People who are owed need to speak up, because it is the people who are owed that we need to hear from. And then check this out, y'all. The people who owe, they don't get to make the terms. Did you hear me? Okay, I just wanted you to know, because it's like y'all have never been to the bank or the store or anywhere that you've had to pay. And then you got to make the terms of what all was about to go down. You know, you went to Food Line, you went to Shoppers, you went to Safeway, Harris Teeter, Wegmans, whatever, Piccadilly. I don't care. You went there. You got your groceries in the cart and you went up to the register and you said, look, bitch, you can give me this food and I'll be back when I'll be back. And I might pay you when I come back. But just be happy that I didn't just steal it. I mean, I came through your line. You checked me out. You see me. I see you. Ain't no thing. Everything all right, right? Wrong. No, it's all wrong, because y'all don't do that anywhere else. So it's not that you don't understand debt. It's not that you don't understand pain. It's that you don't want us to get paid. And that's really the bottom line of it. And like I said when I began, I never, ever, 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 ever in a million years thought that I would agree with Amanda Seales on anything. So let me just be clear. I don't know that I agree with her on anything. To use anything like this disingenuinely is why you have people who are of the lineage and don't want what's theirs. There are people of the lineage who would rather give it back because they don't believe that they are deserving. I mean, oh no, right. I think maybe Osmond said it earlier, or he's about to say it, but you're right. There's no slaves from chattel slavery still around today, right? Like, those people are akin to the Tasmanian people of Australia, right? No, all of that is wrong, and you know it's wrong. You know it's so wrong, because I wouldn't be here if those people were dead. Yoshimon in the chat wouldn't be here if those people were dead. A lot of the people to say on these internet waves, we wouldn't be here. So shame on you for trying to make me forget who I am. And I don't even really blame you, because there have been a lot of people who share my story, people who share my blood even, who didn't feel deserving. And that's a shame. That is why you don't send your baby to the belly of the beast. Can I tell you that one more time? You don't send your baby to the belly of the beast to be educated unless you want your baby to feed themselves to the beast. Okay? Just a little tidbit, just a little snippet. It's just a hint, just like a little, take that with you before you go, because really, the way y'all think that you're doing what you're supposed to do because your baby is in school and they've got the flyest gear is almost like I want to agree with the big buck on the right. There's Negroes smoking marijuana. They're smoking marijuana, Eve. There's Negroes with bonnets on going to the store. Okay, that's not me. I don't wear my bonnet to the store, but I do wear a hat if I want to wear a hat. So how about mind your business? Real talk, because a lot of the people who are out here minding someone else's business, they have their hands all in that person's pockets. They want what's yours. And they don't want you to give it to them. No, they want to take it on a finders keepers mission. They want to claim it as if there's nobody on that landmass. Put my flag in the ground. We've arrived. That's what people want to do. And can you blame them? The story that they were taught in school, what Not they came before Columbus. Not that story. I'm talking about the story where in 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. And when he did, he got to a land where he got so confused because of these Indians. These Indians from India, like Kamala, but no, not like those Indians, because really he meant niggas. That's really what he meant. Columbus got to America and was supposedly just bewildered. He was just so confused that how did we end up over here? We're supposed to be able to put our flag over here and say that Portugal is, or England, or is it France, or I know it's not Spain. And I'm just playing. I am a whole educator out here, so I absolutely know the origins of what they teach in school, because I have to be able to negate the lies. I have to be able to present your babies with the truth. And if I don't know the truth, then I can't tell them. And if you don't know the truth, you can't tell them. And if you're sending your babies to the belly of the beast, they end up more than likely wanting to be with a man like that, wanting to be a woman like this, or sounding like, in varying vocal ranges, tones, or what, okay.
I'll tell you that. Not entitled loser. Yeah, exactly. And so anyway, yeah, it's real sad. It really is. Instead of bringing up the past, how about people address current ongoing issues that oppress people of color currently? Well, there's very rarely anything that actually systematically oppresses any group of people.
Oh, really? Are you sure, Asman? Because I'm 1,000,000,000% sure if you go look at your own comments, they were lighting you up. Mr. 777, where'd you go? Come back. Or Miss 777, I don't know. Or maybe you don't identify. I don't know. But Osman fan in the chat, who was here, did you see? Osman fans were lighting Osman up because, again, how can you sit here and say that the people who were affected are not here, right? But both sides of the fence, please, if there's anything that you remember from me, that's not my captivating voice. No, if there's anything that you remember, I really hope you learn to say less, or say what's needed when it's needed, and then move on. Or remember that these people, they play both sides of the argument.
Like it's extremely uncommon. Like you have racist police officers here and there, and there's like demographic advantages. Like, for example, if a certain demographic is a lot poorer or a lot richer, they're going to have access on average to more or less legal representation, for example. But that's not really something that's based off of race. That's something that's based off of income. And if you address the income,
oh no, did you just say that, Osman? Here you go, negating your own argument with your own talking point. Is it the resources, Osman? Is it it's almost like there's not some people out here who have been saying, hey, remember us? I know you got that benign neglect policy. I know that you've paid everybody to forget about us, but hey, still we rise. Our ancestor said that, and maybe you don't like her because she had a sordid past, but it was beautiful, right? Still we rise. There's another Black American song that I know you niggas love. I know you niggas love it, and maybe you white people love it too, but it's that we fall down and get back up again. And I'm not going to hold y'all right now on how that song makes me feel, knowing about the tendencies of people singing said songs, because when you fall down and get back up again, and then you think about what the sin is, and no, there is no sin that's greater than another sin if you're a person who believes in that stuff, right? Except for the one sin where you don't believe that Jesus is Jesus and God is Jesus, and okay, there's that one. But if you believe that, sorry, it's been a while for me, and I have no issue with anybody who practices their religious identity. I would love for people to worry about themselves. It's like when you're in class, let's take it to teacher mode. When you start school and your teacher had the roster, that list of all the people who were in your class. Can you just let me know in the chat? It looks like it's 10 of y'all here. Can you just let me know in the chat real quick? When the teacher called roll in the morning or on the first day of school or whatever, whenever the teacher's calling people's names, how many of y'all was saying here when they were calling someone else's name? Because I'm gonna let you know if that was you were a class clown. And because I know some niggas really they don't have a serious bone in their body. It's and it's just that outside of them niggas, how many of y'all was saying here when the teacher was calling someone else? Because I know that it wasn't you. I know it wasn't you. Because why would you say that you were someone else? That's how simple it is. It's so simple that even a caveman could do it. But that's because the caveman was niggas, right? So then it's all okay. I know y'all learned about that word and they told you that it meant ignorant and okay. And then you learned about that word and they told you it meant king. And I'm like, okay. But I would love for you, Black American, who's been here since before the interruption, how about you define it? You name it. And then see how strong that is, because anytime we do that, not only do people come trying to steal, they got their hands out, they've got hands over your eyes, hands in your pockets, fingers in your ears. It's very octopian. I don't know what the word would be. It's like tentacles. It's real weird. It's giving alien to me. And maybe that's just because I know that we've got some weird super mega asteroid starship something speeding towards us at billions of whatever per whatever. And well, over here we've been watching about space and it's just very strange, very interesting, very, don't you niggas have anything else to talk about that's not reparations? Actually, we can. We could talk about pretty much anything, but if you don't get to a problem in the conversation, then you're probably talking to someone like Osman, because Osman doesn't believe that there's privilege. No, he doesn't believe in white privilege until you tell him give it up. Oh no, then he believes he's a believer, but it is not his fault. He's not a person who ever owned slaves. He would never. And if you go to his channel right now, you can go to any other social commentary video he has that's not this one and maybe glean on your own that he is very level-headed with regards to spending, with regards to war, with regards to minding your own business. I mean, I almost, because I want to say I've shown him to y'all before, but I think in the last video I paused. And I'm glad I didn't say anything stupid, because Osman, your racism is showing. And again, it is the blatant factual type of statement that you keep making about how, well, nobody who experienced that is around today, because I know you know better.
Income thing, you solve it for all races. So there's very rarely anything that's actually negatively affecting like any specific race of people. And so, yeah, slavery ended in 1865. Yeah, it was a long time ago. It was. And it's all economic. Primarily it is.
Real quick, 1865 is a long time ago. But check this out. I have a grandma who was born in 1852. Her daughter was born in 1880. Her daughter was born in 1906. Her daughter was born in 1935. Her daughter was born in 1968. And her daughter was born in 1987. My daughter was born in 2012. And my youngest daughter was born in 2019. So how dare you or anybody say anything like this? Because it's fighting words. And while I teach my babies not to fight because we're lovers over here, we don't fight. No, you can't be a soft target. That's how you get got. I'm gonna tell you right now, for as much shit as I talk in real life and on these internet waves, I wish a nigga would. I wish a white person would. I wish a beaner would. I wish anybody would. And okay, YouTube, I will strike all of that last part of it out of this video because it is not about the name calling. I could care less what you call me. Cut the check, because that's where we're having an issue. It is not in the fact that I didn't learn sticks and stones break bones, because words absolutely can hurt. No, I don't care. Why? Because I'm bigger than that. You know, it is the nigga shit for me that have y'all thinking that we are somebody else. You know, if you're a black person who smokes marijuana, shout out to you. I really hope you're doing it in a state that it's legal, because there are states where it's legal. I know that it's federally still one of the things, but guess what? So is like gay stuff. So is like deciding you're a butterfly. So is, I think there's people out here acting like cats, right? All the while distracting the niggas from the real nigga shit, which is fuck you, pay me. That's all it is. And I don't want to call it a comeback when I really have been doing my darndest to level the amount of swear words I use. But I find that I get so worked up when you niggas and others get stuck on stupid with some of this stuff. Real talk. If you're a Black American, foundational, Native, a freedman, if that is you and you don't want what's owed to you, fine. It's all good. I know you really thought I was about to be in here like, oh no, woe is us. Oh, what are we gonna do because we all can't get along? We don't all have to anything, ever. It's almost like y'all don't know that you already exist in a group. You already exist in a niche, in a community, in a hood. You already have your people. You're like-minded individuals. And like I started this show tonight, you know, the gaming community is a community. Real talk. It's so on code that you have melanated gamers in spaces with non-melanated gamers. And it's almost like those gamers listened to Dr. King's dream and said they've made it because we gaming together. And then those same gamers will be on a game with any of my babies or any of your babies and call them a nigger with the hard R and think it is so funny because it's just words, Eve. I'm just on the internet, man. It's almost like you niggas can't take a joke. Yoshi, we're gonna have to do something about our swearing, but I swear I've been bumping this ever since you sent it to me. So much respect to you for the energy, because it is the nigga shit that we're on right now. I mean, the whole country is on some nigga shit. Y'all got this man in the White House who he got all these felonies, right? You got white people saying, look, it's the black president that y'all wanted. And I'm freaking so sorry, Obama. Your melanin does not make you more black than Donald Trump. And I'm so sorry, Donald Trump. Going to jail or not, or having felt, that doesn't make you a nigga either. But I would, look, shit, I'll make you a black card. You get us that reparations. I'll make you an honorary nigga card, because by definition, you would be the nigga who did that, right? And I know he's not black. It's just some nigga shit. To call anybody, regardless of their race, a nigga is probably why we are in the times that we're in right now. Lineation? As the niggas on the corner with they 40 ounce and they blunt, they like to talk about the times before lineation, don't you know? But after lineation, you gotta take a swig. And after the niggas decided to name themselves, shit started changing. So again, I'll deal with the KKK, especially the ones with the hoods. I like the ones with the flags. I like the ones who carry, open carry. Show me that that's you, so I can choose how I want to handle you. But to present like you are just a level-headed white guy, white gal, Spanish speaking, Asian speaking, whatever, non-melanated, or check this, melanated, non-American. Just be you, honestly, openly. Chemistry, you in Germany, be safe, dude. Look, I went to Germany one time, and the white people over there were very fascinated with the fact that my hair doesn't do that nigga shit. And I don't ascribe to that thought process anymore, because I've learned that nigga hair is all the hair, straight hair, curly hair, wavy hair, one hair, no hair, all the hair, whatever. That's nigga shit. If it's coming out your head. Now, if it's coming all over your body, that's probably some recessive gene people thing. And you might want to go to the doctor about that, because I've heard that the sun ain't playing with y'all. So you might burn, or worse. And I would hate for that to be how you went out. Like, some of y'all are getting taken out by the sun. And I call it poetic justice, because some of us got taken out before we had a chance to play in the sun. Some of us got taken out before we had a chance to do business in the sun, to frolic in the sun, to have joy. Yeah, all that shit. That's a lot of niggas who ain't here, because we got taken out of this existence and reinserted, because there ain't no new energy, y'all. It's all recycled. So maybe if this seems a little repetitive, it's because it's time to solve the problem. Once you've done all the practice, it's time to get it done. It's time to take the test. Show the class that you know what you're talking about. It's time to do the things. I find that I'm past ready to do the things, and I think that at the beginning of some formations, at the beginning of some journeys, maybe it's a little scary, but we've been doing this for a little while, right? I mean, just a little while. If you've been here since the last Renaissance that we've had, that's impressive. Shout out to you. The Tulsa Black Wall Street survivor is one of those people. And the way that the news was carting her around, the way that these politicians use that old woman and those old people to not pay them, would they give them some Jordans? They did not cut the check in a way that made sense. They didn't want to set the precedent. But by golly, we have a whole president in office willing to set the precedent because he doesn't like them other people either. Those for self people, I like those people. Again, it's the honesty for me, because then I can choose how I want to deal with you. Being sneaky, being a person who would smile in your face and stab you in the back, that's not anybody I want to be around. But the way you niggas be voting for the Democrats, it's almost like you like it. Like you like being invited to the kiddie table. Like this man right here. This one. Do you remember him? Look at him. And look at her. Amanda. Mrs. Seals. Because I do believe you a little bit older than me, ma'am. How about don't do that to people? You know that you did this thing where you're big and bad and I feel you, but the ain't I a woman thing, it got bastardized at its inception. So being strong that's not what we're doing. But I get it. You too are not at least 100% foundational to my understanding. And if that is the case, then I might understand why you get it wrong sometimes or why you get it right sometimes. Because again, I have no ill mention for a Black person who is owed, who says that they don't want it. Fine. Because there are people who've had their babies taken from them, ripped from them, hospitals, maternal mortuary statistics in our community. It's bad. It's like the police brutality thing with our men, even though, yes, Sandra Bland exists and others. It's not just the men, but men can't have babies. So it is just the women who are dying like that. And it's just the women who are birthing our babies, the ones who are women birthing the babies, not the men who want to be women. And okay, I'm sorry. I know I just read a story about a womb transplant and I get it, y'all. Transhumanism is here, right? Like this is where we want to be, right? This is where you want to be, right? Is that where you want to be, guys?
Well, to be fair, they did get reparations for that. And I think it's fair that they got reparations for that.
America. What system is racist? I think the only racism we've actually seen recently, systemic racism that we've seen, is the application of systemic racism against white people. The University of Western Washington, for example, has been trying to segregate dormitories, using Black-only dormitories because Black people feel safer amongst each other. But they're more likely to kill each other than white people are ever to kill them. That's just the truth.
Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, when they don't have the right understanding of their talking point, they start doing that thing. But then I know I also get gobbledygook mouth when I'm all excited, and he was so excited to share that stat, wasn't he? Like he was like, "Oh, I've been waiting. This is my moment to tell him about niggas killing niggas." Like, if the same people who took the energy and looking up the statistics on Black deaths took the same energy, took half the energy, my bad, took a quarter of the energy to just look up the stats in general, then maybe they'd realize that crime happens around the people that the people are around. It is a phenomena to leave your comfort zone and go do something heinous. But that's why serial killers have their whole, they got a whole department of people who investigate them and those crimes and psychologize and not the Umar psychologizing, but the other ones, the ones that profile you and put a little blip in your little COINTELPRO folder if you fit and match the description. I'm just saying, this little nigga on screen was so excited to share that stat. And it's because he's not wrong. If you exist around Blacks, then it makes sense that it would be a Black person to do something to you. But if you were to look up, the Black on Black crime, you would find that there's not a lot of Black American statistics to have any credible foundation of this understanding. It is the melanated crime statistics that people end up using, and it is the melanated statistics that, well, again, this is why Tariq likes delineation. And no, I don't mean Tariq likes the lineation. I mean Tariq and delineation. That's one word beginning with a D. Delineation Nation is the name of the game, and we will name ourselves. And if you're smart, you will do what Amanda did. I don't know how smart she is, because the Democrats are fun. They like to see what works and then try to benign neglect you to death. Amanda talking like this is supposed to get us back on the bandwagon to vote. But I'm going to tell you right now, do you know who's running for office in my state? I'll tell you. It's a white Democratic female running for governor and a melanated Jamaican female opposing her. And my couch is very comfortable. And we have those stickers available on our site around election time. I voted for the couch, because how dare you piss on me and call it rain? I mean, it's clearly yellow and it stinks. Y'all ain't drinking enough water trying to fool people with your pee. Terrible people. And look, this little boy on the screen, I feel Amanda's irritation, because she's like, look, I could be your mama. But in a debate, maybe we leave the familial leanings to non-existent. I mean, do you want people to take you seriously, or was this supposed to be what Jasmine Crockett was supposed to be doing and then crashed out on the other stuff? Like, Jasmine Crockett's on TikTok making TikTok dances and not actually saying anything that makes sense. Jasmine Crockett went on a few different news channels and said that we are not farmers. Like, I don't have a goddamn farm outside right now. Like, my sister Taisha in the chat doesn't have her farming area in her home. My sister has a farm. My brother has a farm. My aunt has a farm. You can kiss my ass, Jasmine Crockett. Because if niggas was getting paid to produce the same way white people were getting paid to steal, same farms, but we're doing the work but not getting paid, and then there's people getting paid who aren't doing the work. You can show me every single video you have of somebody's crop going bad. Shame on them for not making livable wages for the Black Americans in the area who could plow the fields. I don't know. They could pick that cotton for the right dollar, because we ain't working for free. Now, Jasmine, she kind of got that part right, but then again, she tried to say that we don't want no jobs. We just want a handout, which is why the Republicans have such a fun time with people like that. And Amanda, you was kind of doing the same thing. But is it joke daddy? Is it? I mean, I don't know. I'm about to look it up right now, because I want to say, let's see. Your last name is so familiar to a lot of people, right? And then maybe people just assume that there's a familial relationship between the two of you. And maybe there's not. Maybe there is. Who knows? But to the bottom of this I shall get, especially right now, because I meant to do this earlier today, couldn't figure it out. And let's see. Oh, you know what? How about while I search for that, you guys can watch some more of Osman.
You have King Von rapping about killing other black men. Why should I think that the white man is the oppressor when black men are more likely to kill me?
Oh my
Tell me.
God, this is scary. You need to think about me as your mama. Do not talk to me in that fashion. So let's check that now.
Okay.
It's crazy to me that, you know what this seems like to me? This is like a soundboard. It's like a soundboard of a dumb person that thinks that they're clever. It's like, this is the kind of way that you would talk to somebody on the internet, but whenever it actually comes into like a public conversation, you realize how obnoxious and patronizing and self-defeating this type of rhetoric is. She's trying to belittle him. She's insult. Yeah, because she's stupid. That's the reason why.
Okay.
Real quick, I haven't found it yet, but the reason I have over a racist like Osman TV is because, Osman, you didn't cut no corners in your insults in this video. So I was thinking that these were opinions that you had, and it is my opinion that white people like you are very racist. They are actually probably the most racist, and if not, maybe the masterminds of all of this. Because again, if I know that that's how you are, then I don't have to be around you. And as much as y'all, the really, really outwardly racist people, like to say that you don't like them niggers, y'all definitely like the proximity. You like the fried chickens, and you like the seasoned greens and vegetables. You don't know how to do it yourself. My man always says the transatlantic slave trade started because of the food. And I always think he's just saying it facetiously because he's really appreciating my meal that I've prepared for him. You know, whatever it is, even if it's something slight, it's literally always, yeah, they was putting trinkets on the beach and swooping you niggas up left and right because can you get some more? And I love that sound. I love that because I know how to cook. And I know Amanda thought she was cooking, so we're gonna give her some snaps like that. These are like a little soft snaps because I think maybe it's a new day. The new day would be that you let these self-appointed propagandizers, these self-appointed revolutionaries, let them talk. Because all she really did was say the same thing that we've been saying for about 5 years consistently on the internet that I've seen. And I know some of y'all have been listening to people on the internet for 15 years. Boom, boom, boom. And they might have the only school of something higher education learning. I don't, on the Cosmo. I don't know. Or maybe you wake up really early and you have a moment in the morning for 15 years. No, it's like that hasn't been 15 years, but I'm just saying, some of y'all have been listening to people who've been very consistent about the problem, very consistent about say less. And well, one of those two people actually has people call in sometimes, and then the person will say, well, what are we supposed to do? And the host will say, ha, this is how you know this person hasn't been paying attention. Ha, 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 ha. I am the... Okay, but and as much as I used to laugh and think that that was funny, no, it's that's a really good way to never answer a question. And when you are being bamboozled, hoodwinked, or just being a duck because sometimes bitches be doing duck shit, right? So however you made a bad decision, maybe you landed on a channel where they don't answer questions. But here on my channel, especially if you're new, I want to talk about the problem, but I don't want to stew on the problem. No, I have a beautiful life. I have a beautiful family. I have shit to do, and I have legitimate business because it's not fraudulent over here. But I do want you to know that it is not the problem that needs to be the focus, unless you're a person who didn't even know that there was a problem. If that's you, you need to take some time, because your whole world's about to change, baby. It's really going to flip upside down, because what goes up must come down. You learned that when you threw your first ball. You learned that when you fell down the first time you fell down. You understand gravity. Maybe you also understand energy. It's all the same. And it ain't going nowhere as much as it continues to be recycled and reused. And I guess if the powers that be had their way, then there wouldn't be so many of us reusing the energy of the land that is ours. However, they couldn't do anything about us then. They definitely can't do anything about us now. It is up to us to say enough is enough. There is one thing on one of those channels that I just told you about. Yes, Taisha, that cult shit. There's one thing on that one channel that's one channel, not the other channel, but the one. Maybe you take your coffee with them in the morning. The only law is the law that you allow. Because I'm going to let you know right now, if somebody tried to bust into your house, you're not about to sit here with no legal dictionary about what you need to do. You're either gonna hide because you're a coward and you're afraid. You're gonna hide because you don't have a way to protect yourself, and actually being hidden is a good way to be. You know, you want to fight the good fight and be here the next time. You fight another day, you know, come back and get them next time. If you go out the first time, there is no next time. So I get it. Sometimes you gotta hide, but there's some of y'all out here, and you're not gonna let somebody bust in your door because maybe you got cameras. Maybe you saw them coming from a mile away and you could do something about it. And I don't mean like shoot through the door, but guess what? If you live in a state where that's allowed, you can have the things that pew, pew through the door. Get it. A lot of them. Because, well, I mean, it's only your life, right? And since it's only your life, I mean, who am I to say what you need to do with it? I'm going to tell you right now, mine and ours and what we have here.
Hi, I'm Ryan Reynolds, and welcome to my...
Shut up.
Well, there's very rarely anything that actually...
in my interest to keep us safe. It is in my man's interest to keep us safe. I mean, it's in the puppy's interest to keep us safe, because the square over here is squaring. Now, if we can get some other squares to join hands and we can learn to square together, that would be so cool. All them angles cutting through the bullshit. I would love it. But it's just a dream. And in reality, the actual factuals of it all is not a lot of white people like Osmond, because there's not a lot of white people in the world, period. There's not a lot of white people like Osmond because there's not a lot of white people in the world, period. So then now let's just go with the English-speaking ones. There's even fewer like Osmond, because you're not supposed to know that he really is a racist. No, you're supposed to think that he's so level-headed. There's a bedwench out there right now who likes his stringy situation going on.
Actually systematically oppresses any group of people. Like it's extremely uncommon. Like you have racist police officers here and there, and there's like demographic advantages. Like for example, if a certain demographic is a lot poorer or a lot richer, they're going to have access on average to more or less legal legal representation, for example.
Really, Oscar?
But that's not really something that's based off of race. That's something that's based off of income. And if you address the income thing, you solve it for all races. So there's very rarely anything that's actually negatively affecting like any specific race of people. And so, yeah, slavery ended in 1865. Yeah, it was a long time ago. It was. And it's all economic. Primarily, it is. It is primarily economic. How many people out there do you think that think like she does? Oh, there's a lot of people that think like she does.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people who actually don't know what they're talking about. No offense, Mrs. Seals, because I think you do know what you're talking about. I think that maybe you get paid to say the things you say, and who am I to tell you not to get paid? All of us are victims of the system until we defeat the system. So high paid employee, low paid employee. A sin is a sin is a sin. Or did you forget? Oh, I know we're not in church. This isn't church, but it's kind of like church a little bit. Sometimes a little bit. Okay.
But again, you have to understand that the reason why she thinks like she does and the reason why she advocates and talks like this is because people put up with it.
The reason she talks like this is because it's a talking point that we've had for some time now. And when you're consistent, they can't bastardize what you're saying. They actually have to say exactly what you're saying. Because like Osmond tried to fool you earlier, the people who were harmed from this harm, they're not even out here. But if we're not out here, why are you even entertaining the conversation? I mean, according to you, this is a nobody person who is talking dumb because she's dumb, and there's a lot of dumb people out here. But Osmond, you are not foundational, my bro. You're not. Maybe you are a wasp, but that would actually make you a foundational colonizer. So while you might not have had any slaves, you are absolutely somebody I'm coming to for my check, because you are the reason that all of this shit is all fucked up right now. The people you come from. So the people you come from, they did it to you. And in the same form and fashion, our law allows the victims of a crime, the children of the victims of some crime. You know, it's the caucasity for me. Except Amanda Seals' whole jubilee was her going up against blacks. Like, it's not her going up against all these white guys and she's punching them down. No, they would never allow something like that, because that would be too close to real. No, you got to put her in a gender warring position so that it can look like the women's is against the men's. And then, do y'all remember Thanksgiving before Trump became president? Because the Democrat Party told people, I mean, they said stop giving out them cookies, and then they said they was gonna stop baking cookies. I mean, can you imagine? And I'm not saying that there's not some big backs on the Republican side. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that I don't know a native, a foundational Black American, a freedman, non-deportable, undeportable, however you want to say it, an original Social Security having Negro who don't know how to cook, who doesn't want to nourish and provide that loving sustenance for their family. So it is very telling that you have these women telling these women, don't provide for your family, but we are the party of the people. You have to love everybody, right? but don't love your family because they don't believe in the same thing that you. I'm sorry. I gave it the fraudulent voice because it all sounds the same now. Democrats, grifters, people who are using arguments that are not theirs, people who lie about facts, and then we're supposed to fix it all. So if we have to fix it, then give me the KKK, because at least they like identifying themselves. At least it makes it almost an even playing field. Like, I gotta wake up and be black, right? There's no hiding it and there's no shame in that. But I'm just saying, you others, you can wake up and who knows? Which one of our ancestors, is trivia for you, which one of our ancestors said, it doesn't matter if it's a wolf in sheep's clothing, you treat them all the same? Because aren't you a dummy if you allow the wolf in sheep's clothing to get you? Because, like, it was a wolf in sheep's clothing. Do y'all know how big wolves are? Okay. Do y'all know how big sheeps are? Okay. Do y'all know what some people do with those types of animals in other parts of the world? And then those dirty sand niggas want to come over here and tell somebody about hygiene like they don't take a bath in the river? Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe taking baths in the rivers that have pollution is why Kamala would come over here and think that it was okay to say that she washes her greens in the tub. Because, Amanda, did you ever address that? I know, I'm all over the place with you tonight, but it's just because you said some things that you're not going to be able to take back without looking like a buffoon. And maybe it was worth it. At least I hope it was worth it, because at the end of the day, all of you wonderfully melanated foundational Black Americans, Native Black Americans, freedmen, all of y'all are owed if you have the story that my family has. Now, if you got here after the fact, if your family chose to come here and then you had to deal with racism, well, that sounds like a self-inflicted wound. In the same way, you would tell your little baby who got on a bicycle and scraped their knee to get up, dust it off, put a Band-Aid on it, and stop all that whining for. Well, I might have to tell you the same thing, because it's not about you right now. And Osman, really, I've found and met so many of your brethren and cousins, the ones who kiss each other and the ones who don't. There's a lot of y'all who say that it's not you. I mean, y'all will go so far as to say it's the people in your family, like you don't come from them same linens. Okay. And I know I told y'all that sometimes we have some coon in us. Our lineage might have some people who don't feel deserving. That's not necessarily a coon spirit or energy, but it is a self-deprecating, a non-powerful position, a person who was not taught the beauty of self-love. And you need help. And when we get what's owed to us, I really hope you get that help, because you'll be able to afford it. Because like Osman said, I mean, generally it was economic, right?
Like that's the reason why, is that being an obnoxious, annoying person like this is something that it's very popular. It's very popular, and people put up with it. Now, as soon as people stop putting up with it, then it goes away. But the issue now is that people do put up with it because they're afraid to call it out.
So why is that fair?
And now you have people calling it out, and that's really what's changing. Do you think she believes what she's saying? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Another reason she thinks the way she does is because she doesn't think. Yeah, clearly. And yeah, anything that cuts someone short and deserves something based on talent and merit, race and gender is bad for society. Also happens to be racist. Yeah, I think so. Of course. I mean, that's the way it is with anything. A lot of issues have.
Yeah, I mean, Osmond, again, here you are negating your own point because by definition, white people benefited from the DEI. So as a person who's never benefited from my blackness in the workforce as a way that y'all keep saying that we're supposed to be able to benefit, it's like y'all took your white privilege, put it on paper, and then said that DEI is what we have. That's our version of white privilege. Fuck you. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to not do that. That'll be the last one. I promise. Wink. Okay. I just want you to know that the white women who benefited from DEI and the white men who benefited from the diversity. You know, my first baby of my husband, right? You heard that, of my husband. Did you catch that? Because we're not all bad black statistics, Osmond. No, actually, a lot of us are married with children and mortgages and pay taxes and have never broke the law. We don't even go through the red light when there's nobody looking because that's how we were brought up. You know, we have to do better then. We have to be better then because they're not gonna give a shit. It's that nigga shit, you know? And it is the fact that you can't escape it. Because like I said earlier, I can't help but wake up me. And I know the way the beauty skincare products will try to have y'all thinking that we don't like ourselves. We want to be lighter. We want to be different. All of these other women who don't have what we have are injecting things into them to look like they got it. You know, if you're a person who's out here acting like you carry the genetic variation that would have wide hips and a bountiful bosom, it means you're lying to the men who would want to sleep with you because not only are you probably not going to be able to birth that child the way that your hips are showing, but you're not going to be able to provide food or nourishment the way your big bountiful bosom is acting like it can. You know, it's silicone up there. It ain't no milk up there. So then maybe I get why Ketanji Lee Jackson was so tongue-tied because she knows where her party is going. Transhumanism. And right, she did have babies. She did birth them. Whether they were by C-section or natural, they came from her womb because her husband inserted his genetic material inside of her. Do we have to have biology here? Because I thought y'all knew about the birds and the bees. And I thought that it was Generation Alpha and the toxic females teaching them about the birds and the birds and the bees and the bees and the squirrels and the bees and the birds and the trash cans and all that shit. You know, what are we doing here? It's like idiocracy. So Taisha, I'm happy you're here because we talked about idiocracy before. And maybe it's just the fact that we have so many examples of what not to do that people will stew right there. Don't do this and don't do that and don't do this and don't do that and don't do smoke and don't do drink and don't do fuck and don't do cuss. Right? How about cut the check and then we can talk about the activities and things that I'll start cutting out because as it stands, I don't know that I have anything to say to a Black person who shares my lineage, my story, my ancestry, my name, and they have a vice. Because dealing with you people will drive a nigga crazy. I'm trying to tell you.
Historic roots. So history can be useful for understanding a problem. Going back to history for the solution is not the way. Historical solutions were horrible. I think you bring up a good point. Yeah, is that a lot of historical problems Yeah, a lot of problems do emerge from history, but going back and trying to solve them that way doesn't really make a lot of sense. I think that definitely makes a lot of sense.
Right, because you don't want to give up your privilege.
And what about black soldiers, World War II? They can get a fair shake of the GI Bill when we're denied mortgages and the opportunity to buy property via federally sponsored redlining. I don't think anybody would deny that, like, for example, if there's a black person that's still alive that wasn't given the GI Bill because they were black.
Oh, okay, so if there's a black person who is alive today who wasn't given the GI Bill because of their blackness in the past, does that not, the GI Bill that white people and their children and spouses and then sometimes grandchildren, great grandchildren, my great granddaddy was in World War I. Never mind the fact that my daddy tried to do something to me and I don't like men's no more. No, I'm not talking about those, right? That's not who we're talking about, right, Osmond? We're talking about the blacks who, I don't know, have fought in every single war this country has had for her benefit. Why? Because we built it. We don't like people coming in our home with dirt on the feet. We don't like having to clean up messes we didn't make. But this is where we are. And if this is where we are, well, Osmond, I think it's time.
I don't think anybody would say that that person shouldn't get their money.
Exactly. And if you can understand that a person who's alive today who didn't get their GI Bill because of their race, then maybe you can understand that kind of goes across environments, like 9 environments, like education, like politics, like housing and entertainment and news. And again, Mr. Fuller, I know it's the repetition, but you say keep it simple. So let's keep it simple. If there are people who are around because they've managed to survive against the odds, you better pay those people. Because what happens when they're not asking anymore? What happens when they decide to go their own way? And I'm not talking about you MGTOW red pillars, confused niggas. No, I'm just saying. The emancipated child is someone that the community doesn't necessarily want around because nobody can check them. What are you going to tell that child whose parents couldn't tell them anything? What are you going to do? No, you have to put foot to ass if you want them to listen. And yeah, the foot to ass a lot of time is the law because these children don't have a foundation that makes sense. So then they go out here trying to do it on their own and they do it wrong. And then they get in trouble. And the system that was designed to perpetuate chattel slavery in a lesser form continues to thrive. You get shipped away to the prison via the pipeline that didn't give you any support because I don't know, I think Osmond said something about economics. I think it was something about the resources. And yeah, I guess if I had to do a little bit of work, then I could see that these schools that aren't being funded are in areas that aren't being funded, are in the hands of people who look like the people, but don't live there, right? Isn't there a politician in New York who, I don't know, might act like they live in Virginia, but actually live in New York, but got some mortgage rates like they live here in Virginia? I mean, that's like all sorts of illegal, but white people do it all the time. So then doesn't it always tickle you when the nigga's like, how did you get me? Okay. Keep thinking you them people, and they're going to show you very quick you're not them. So how about you just be you? The beautiful nigga you are. Big nose, little nose. Big lip, little lip. Big bag, no bag. I don't give a shit. If you're owed because the people who colonized this land removed you from what's yours, then say something. Really, because there's people out here who are waiting for you to let it go past you so that they can say something. You're going to find a lot of people who did not support us getting any tangible due. Very supportive if the tangibles included them. But since they don't, since these niggas has lineated, since we've drawn a line in the sand, since we've practiced delineation, it's not much you can do. So take us out already, or pay us, because, well, aren't y'all tired of the nigga shit?
Swingers on the Lexus, everybody out here thugging and flexing. Yes, cool, I ride through. I say shit, I stay violent. On social media, let's talk about it. More famous than the president will ever be. Real nigga shit is my legacy. They race kids, imitate all my nigga shit. DMX, Tupac, Wu-Tang influenced it. James Brown, Black Pride, Rick James, real nigga shit. Bernie Mac, Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Clips, the young Eddie Murphy. The fit up Michael Jackson, skinhead, dead, motherfucker ain't relaxing. Prince don't play me, Soccer John Magic. Nigga, we ain't acting. All you see is Nigerian kids imitate that. Asian cosplay imitate art. Indians pretend to be all up on that. Jamaicans cake fakes and bacon that. They say we have no culture and we just vultures. So we can roll over, fully in the dough for the world to go out. On my face they shit, they still proud of racing this nigga shit. Ku Klux Klan, woman and man. Jim Crow laws, boom, hit flaws, misled information, white supremacy, damnation, racist, vacation, islands without armor supervision, took advantage of misattention, I'm gonna shake yeah, mission, hard changes of mutated clones, hey, I want a mirror from my phone, the true Judas, hey, marry a hoe, Jesus live with no kids, no Yanni, let's go, I'm a kind of savior, it's a manipulated girl, get up by the Caucasian, 99 facts, one lie to throw you out. We been fighting this bastard, trying to kick him out of house, and you just let them take your house. So shut your mouth, especially when you talk that.
So, well, that was my show. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit the like. If you didn't, I'm not stopping you from hitting that dislike. But if you're new here, welcome. Because, well, sometimes I do this thing where I talk about these thoughts that I have, and most of the time they make people uncomfortable. And if you were uncomfortable, I hope you share my show, because don't be uncomfortable by yourself. These are conversations that we Americans need to have, because other people are having them all over the world. People are drawing lines in the sand and telling people to go home. Do you know Nigeria, and I want to say it's Jamaica, there's like no countries that really want those specific people in their country because of all of the nigga shit. But, you know, they like dogpiling onto the Black American experience with the negative. And they never, ever, ever want to share. And that's why you've got countries of Black people who have not, I don't know, done that olive branch thing. As much as y'all tried to lie about And I'm going to be very clear here because I can't speak for everybody. Everybody hasn't done their ancestry. But for me, there is nobody in my family from the continental landmass that is called and known as Africa, unless we are going to accept the fact that all life that exists in 2025 in some form or fashion started in Africa. If we're not doing that, then I ain't an African, nigga. I'm an American, and I love it here. My apple pie, my hot dogs that I don't eat no more, and French fries that ain't French. Because oh, you niggas love it too. You come over here and then try to say that our staple foods came with you. You know, it's my last point because it is so ludicrous, but check this. Do you know about George Washington Carver? Okay, psych. I know y'all know about George Washington Carver. The Peanut Man. We learned about George Washington Carver as children because he's one of the safest Negroes of the time because of his very soft voice, and maybe because they, I don't know, eunuched him, if that's real. If they eunuched him, that means they discarded of his man pieces because of the whole black men are going to infect the white daughters, so chop the heads off while we can type of deal. And I don't just mean circumcision. I mean that whole thing gone. But if you were to ever really look at George Washington Carver, you would understand that the man really did speak to nature. And I don't know. I mean, I know on the continent, I've seen some magical niggas. And I think it's beautiful. If you're able to talk to fire and airbend and do all that avatars, cool shit, I think that's so cool. But y'all niggas ain't doing it over here. You're not doing it over here. You Africans can't do the shit over here. You gotta be over there to do that stuff. And, well, us Americans, the ones who are supposed to be here, the ones that they can't deport because if they could, they would have. We got our own magic over here, and I know y'all know what it's called, so I'm not even gonna bore you with the details. I'm gonna just let you know that if you want to hear from me again, hit the bell so you're notified next time I'm live. Good night.